Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Los Gatos Town Council meeting of November 19th, 2019. Can we get a roll call, please?
Thank you and good evening. Councilmember Syak.
Here.
Councilmember Spector.
Here.
Councilmember Rennie.
Here.
Vice Mayor Jensen.
Here.
Mayor and Chair Leonardis.
Here. Leading us in the pledge this evening is Mr. Trevor Schwartz. I would like to invite him to come forward at this time. Welcome, Trevor. I'll share with you a few words about Trevor Schwartz. Trevor is the president of the Los Gatos Morning Rotary. He's a former board member of the Los Gatos Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for your volunteerism in our community. He's a lifelong Bay Area resident. He's been a resident of Los Gatos since 2002. Currently works as a CFP, a Certified Financial Planner at Raymond James. Happily married for almost 20 years with 3 young boys. Welcome, Trevor. If you can lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
A big round of applause for Mr. Schwartz. I'll give to you. Thank you for coming in tonight. Thank you for your service. Thank you, Mr. Schwartz, for coming in this evening. Our next item of business is our Small Business Big Applause Award, and tonight's recipient being recognized is Young Xing Restaurant. They are not here this evening, but we will be sending their award to them in their honor. They are a fantastic member of our business community, a long-term restaurant. If you have not had a chance to go and eat there, they are located at the corner of Knowles Avenue and Winchester, right behind Aldo's Restaurant. Some of the best Chinese food you'll ever find. So congratulations to them, and thank you for being part of our business community for so many years. We have our closed session report.
Yes, good evening. Prior to tonight's regular session, councilmen in closed session to discuss real property negotiations. The discussions involved various properties owned by the town. No action was taken that requires reporting under the Brown Act.
Thank you, Mr. Schultz. Next on our agenda is our consent calendar. Does any member of council wish to pull an item from consent this evening? I see none. Does anyone from the public wish to pull from our consent calendar? I see none, so I will look forward to a motion. Vice Mayor.
Move approval of our consent calendar consisting of items 1 through 8.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. It passes unanimously. We will move on to our verbal communications. If any of you wishes to speak on an item this evening, we have these cards. Please fill one out. So far, I have 3. Our first speaker is Karen, is it Andy? 80? Please come forward, Karen.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Karen 80, and I'm a longtime resident of Los Gatos. I graduated from Los Gatos High School, raised 2 sons here, and I have 3 grandchildren. I am a plant-based advocate of Los Gatos, a part of the local Green Monday USA team. My biggest concern as a town resident and as a U.S. citizen is the degradation of our environment. As Greta Thunberg said, we are in a climate crisis. I'm concerned about having a habitable planet for my children and grandchildren. We don't have to look very far to see the devastation in California. We continue to see cycles of droughts and dying trees. Our town is at a high risk for fires with all of the open space preserves we have around us and the urban trees. We've continued to see bad air quality, in the Bay Area due to the constant fires in Northern California. If we want to reduce our greenhouse gases, it's not enough to drive a Tesla, a Chevy Volt, or some other electric or hybrid car. The livestock system releases more greenhouse gases than all of the world's transportation. That's all of the automobiles, planes, trains, and ships combined. Eating more plant-based foods is one of the single most effective ways that individuals can cut our carbon footprint. Also, it can dramatically improve our health. We need to have policies in the town that encourage plant-based eating. This includes having clearly defined plant-based options in restaurants, plant-based food vendors at local town events and festivals, plant-based outreach to town residents, and plant-based options in the cafeterias of our local schools. Imagine if you were to go plant-based for just one day of the week. You could save 1,500 gallons of water, 45 pounds of green, 30 square feet of land, 20 pounds of carbon dioxide. Please join us in creating a more sustainable Los Gatos. Thank you for your time.
All right. Thank you for your comments. Next speaker, Kathleen Willey.
Good evening. My name is Kathleen Willey, and I've lived in Los Gatos, my husband and young boys, for the past 9 years. I'm also a plant-based advocate and part of Green Monday. I'd like to talk tonight briefly about how devastating dairy is to our environment, our health, and the animals. I suffered from horrific asthma my entire life, along with heartburn, IBS, allergies, and unexplained hives. It all went away once I took dairy out of my diet after researching a lot of scientific evidence that has gone back over 30 years showing that it is not meant for human consumption. In fact, Dr. T. Colin Campbell and his team at Cornell University, in partnership with researchers at Oxford University and the Chinese government, embarked upon the most comprehensive study of nutrition and health ever conducted. It became known as the China Study. While this extensive study found detrimental effects from all sources of animal proteins, dairy was of particular concern. The findings indicate that the lower the percentage of casein, a protein found in cow's milk, a person consumes, the greater the health benefits. Milk taken from a cow cannot be altered to become safe for human consumption. While many companies have attempted to remove the lactose and cut down on the saturated fat found in dairy, they cannot eliminate the natural hormones found in all dairy, nor can they stop the growth-promoting characteristics of cow infant food. Yes, that's what dairy is. It's only meant to make a baby cow grow very quickly into a 2,000-pound animal. And what becomes of these infant cows? Cows don't automatically produce milk. They're forcibly impregnated over and over again. They carry their babies for 9 months, then the babies are repeatedly stolen from them at a day or two old to be slaughtered. Dairy cows are also horrible for our environment. Since they are milked by a machine twice a day, they eat and drink constantly. They drink about 30 to 50 gallons of water every day and consume about 30 pounds of grain every day. Therefore, just to produce 1 gallon of milk, it takes about 1,000 gallons of water. You have to factor in the water used to grow the crops they eat. I would like to see more public education offered to Los Gatos residents on the many benefits of plant-based eating. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Willey. Our next speaker is John Shepherdson.
Thank you, Karen and Kathy. Yes, Mr. Mayor and Council. Could I have the overhead? Would that be possible? So this is from CAL FIRE, and much of Los Gatos is in the very high fire hazard severity zone. Secondly, this is a tweet from the President of the United States, and he's indicating that he's not going to provide federal assistance for fires in California. Maybe it's just hyperbole, maybe it's real, but I think we have to consider it, and some think he's going to be elected another 4 years. So I think that's something that we need to plan for if that funding doesn't occur, or if he holds it back as leverage against public officials to do his bidding, like what's happened in Ukraine. Thirdly, this is a article from the New York Times, and the president referred to the Russian investigation as a hoax. And this is from the Mueller report, and this is the Mueller report from our Los Gatos library. And it stated on page 59 that the Russian government interfered in the 2000 presidential election in sweeping and systematic fashion. And it goes on to say that they favored the president, Donald Trump, and disparaged Hillary Clinton, which was an attack on our constitutional form of government. Next is, this is from Wikipedia, and this is Marie Yovanovitch, and she's a American ambassador, foreign official, and she's been attacked by the president. And so this is from the Wikipedia, and she's actually been quite active in anti-corruption activities in the Ukraine, ironically. And then I think the public should know that she testified that her parents fled from Russia and the Nazis. So she values democracy. And then she was threatened by the president that that she was going to go through some things because she stood up for American values. And then this was also, she finds it remarkable how a foreign government could manipulate our government into having her being attacked.
Thank you, Mr. Shepherdson. That concludes our verbal communications this evening. And we'll move on to our council and manager matters, which I think that we had a discussion with the vice mayor. We will do that at our next meeting. We ordinarily don't handle that on this particular night. Moving on to our appointment of the mayor and vice mayor. So this is the part of the evening where, so one business item this night, where we choose our next mayor and our next vice mayor. It is a meeting that we look forward to every year. It's a bittersweet meeting in the sense that we have one mayor going out and one mayor going in. But we appreciate everyone's presence this evening, and we will get started with the process. And we will move on to the town manager.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Mayor. On behalf of your council colleagues and town staff, we would like to present this token of our appreciation for your service as mayor. It's been our pleasure to work with you this past year. Congratulations and thank you.
Thank you, Laurel. Thank you very much. I should say Manager Pravetti. And it has been a wonderful year in Los Gatos. I could start by reading all of the many things that the council and the community and the staff and we have worked on this year. There are so many things, but it would take too long this night. So we will keep it brief, and we will look forward to the future and the future accomplishments, because I think that is what is most important. Not what is in the past, but what is in the future for Los Gatos. And I look at Los Gatos as the kind of community where it gets better every single day. This was a year of a lot of hard work and a lot of transition, but a lot of improvements were made, and I do wholeheartedly appreciate, and I'm going to thank, many members of our community this evening for their support in making this such a great year. Beginning with the community members who are involved with service clubs, our coaches, our business owners, our Chamber of Commerce members, crossing guards, teachers, school administrators, faith organizations, or any other volunteers in town. If any of you are in the audience, would you please stand this evening if you remember any of those groups and be recognized for your efforts in our community. Don't be shy. Please rise. Thank you. Next, I'd like to thank our board and commission members serving the town of Los Gatos. These are our boards and committees, such as our parks, our transportation, our library, our arts commission, our community service commissioners. Do we have any members in our audience this evening who have served on those boards and commissions this evening? Please stand and be recognized for your service. I would be remiss if I did not thank our wonderful town staff this evening. You have made this year so great for our community. We are very grateful for your hard work. I'd like to particularly point out the many requests that I personally had. You fixed every sign and every tree, every crack in the sidewalk, every garbage can that needed to be emptied, every graffiti or weeds that I asked to be trimmed. We have I know you put in some time on the weekends working at music in the park, as well as of course, our 24/7 police department, our public works who cleans up after the storms. We have our fantastic library, our finance department, and all of our department heads, the whole management of the town. It's been an absolute pleasure working with all of you this year. Thank you very, very much for making such a great year for Los Gatos. Please stand up and be recognized. They stay late with us, and their professional service is second to none. I truly value the way they serve our community, our town, our residents. Next is our town council. Thank you for your hard work and your thoughtfulness, your dedication, your decorum, and the consensus building from all of you. If you've watched some of our meetings, we don't all vote alike. We all bring something different to the table. One of the things I enjoy most about being on this council is we never know who is going to vote how. We come in here, we work together, we work to represent the best interests of the people, and we get a lot of work done. And this year, we got a lot of work done. So thank you for your service to our community. And please stand up and be recognized. I would be remiss if I did not recognize the stakeholders of the community, all of the residents. The reason we are here is because you chose to live here, and we thank you for your participation in the public process and your engagement in our community. You make Los Gatos the loving and caring and friendly place it is known for, the welcoming community we are. And as I stated earlier, the best years for Los Gatos are ahead, so please stay tuned and please continue participating. So please rise if you're just one of those residents who is here tonight participating in our community. Is there anyone who didn't stand up? Thank you, everyone, for coming tonight. Now it's time to nominate our new mayor. And the person I nominate as our next mayor has served Los Gatos for a good many years as a planning commissioner and a council member. I look over, I see this gal on the bouncing ball, the yoga ball, sitting next to me. Marcia Jensen knows all the rules to the town. In fact, Marcia has participated in writing and creating many of our ordinances and guidelines, which help make Los Gatos the great place it is. She has many, many years of service. And it's really a community that is envied by many. The reason why it is such a great place to live is because of Marcia's efforts, among others. Marcia is one of the people I have, she's one of the sharpest people I've ever met. And she reads everything. Nothing gets past Marcia. She laughs at some of my jokes. Has a great sense of humor. She's often here freezing when I'm up here sweating and drinking gallons of water. So that's something I always think of when we're up here. But somehow we survive these meetings together, and I'm proud to nominate Marcia Jensen as our next mayor of Los Gatos. And we need a second on that nomination. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. We'll take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? None. It passes unanimously. Congratulations,
Thank
Mayor
you.
Jensen.
Thank you, Outgoing Mayor Leonardis, Council, and all of you that have come tonight. I'm going to call him Steve because he's not mayor anymore. Kind of stole my thunder on my theme, which is all about our community. And so those of you that are here tonight represent the best of our community. And what I want to do in the coming year is look at all of you and say thank you, but challenge you to do even more. And I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to challenge myself to do more as well. So as I look forward to, and we look forward to the coming year, I'd like us to keep in mind that we want to work for the benefit of the entire town, for what's good for everyone. And that the goals that we set together, the solutions that we craft together, and the results that we achieve together will always be more powerful and enduring than what we can do on our own. And many of you in the audience are going through that now and know that that is the case. I look out and I see Sarah Chafin, who's worked really hard with a whole bunch of people to bring something forward. I look out and I see members of the business community who have worked hard to come together. And those results are actually starting to show. So I challenge all of us here tonight, all of you sitting here, all of us, all you may be watching at home, to look beyond your front door, look beyond your street, look beyond your neighborhood, and even look beyond the town in setting priorities, because the issues we face are increasingly regional. Travelers don't stop at town boundaries, nor should they. Fire doesn't stop at town boundaries. Climate change doesn't stop at town boundaries. And the goals that we set for making life better for everyone, us and everyone else, for new opportunities through better housing for everyone and appropriate housing and affordable, new transportation networks to help us get around more easily, new energy sources, so when PG&E shuts off your power, you have an alternative. Only by coming together with our local and regional partners can we meet all of these challenges with new ideas, new and effective strategies. So over the coming year, in order to emphasize the importance of this goal of putting this cooperative spirit and teamwork, the town is going to be recognizing individuals who, what I'm going to call, put community first. So we'll have a community first recognition. I have some people in mind already who have shown an initiative in looking beyond a particular personal interest and looking out for themselves, the town, and their neighbors in accomplishing something great, in really embodying what used to be called that good old-fashioned public service. And there's a value in public service. And we embody it here. Those of you that volunteer embody it out there. And so we can make our town better if we put our community first always. Los Gatos is a great town, as the mayor said, but all great things can be better. So as I begin my year as mayor, I look forward to putting our community first, to figuring out where we can go together, to looking toward the future, and allowing us to become, as my son, the millennial, would say, get to next level. So I challenge you to get to next level with me. Thank you very much for making me your mayor, and I look forward to serving you in the community. And with that, it's time for me to nominate the vice mayor. No one can look forward properly and accomplish goals properly without taking a little bit of time to look back. What have we accomplished? What have we done well? What have we done not so well? What new ideas can we have? What's our history? What do we want to preserve? What do we want to change? And there's no one that is better and more ably equipped to do that than the person I'm going to nominate for vice mayor, who has probably the greatest body of institutional knowledge and history about the town of Los Gatos than anyone I can think of, who is smart, capable, and dedicated to this town, and I know will be a great assistant in our year together, and that is Barbara Spector.
I second the nomination.
Sorry. I didn't know I was in charge yet. Okay, we have a motion on the floor. It's been seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It passes unanimously. Congratulations, Vice Mayor Spector.
Well, thank you, new Madam Mayor. Thank you, council members, and thank you, community. This might seem a little repetitive, but as I look forward to this coming year, our major challenges will be outside of our town boundaries. They will include items like regional traffic, state-mandated housing numbers, state-imposed housing, and the CalPERS pension liabilities, which continue to grow each day. We have, however, to work with not only your vice mayor, but with your entire council and staff, a dedicated and knowledgeable community. And so for the next year, I look forward, as your vice mayor, to work with the mayor, the council, and all of this community to address these very significant issues. Thank you.
We have a very special guest in the audience who he's never neglected and never forgotten, but we didn't get a chance to recognize him to give an award. So Supervisor Wasserman.
Good evening, everyone. It's my pleasure to be here for the 18th consecutive year, transitioning from the outgoing mayor to the incoming mayor. I represent 5 cities in District 1. Some have revolving appointed mayors, some have elected 2-year mayors, some have elected 4-year mayors. People have different ways that they do this. But what I love about Los Gatos, my hometown, is no matter who is wearing what I call the crown, no matter who's the mayor that particular year, the 5 up here have always been a team for Los Gatos' best interest. They have different opinions, they're professional, they're polite, they do their homework. These are 5 of the hardest working people I have ever had the pleasure of knowing, and I know each and every one of them pretty darn well. I'm here tonight to present a commendation to our outgoing mayor, Steve Leonardis, from the County of Santa Clara. Thanking you, Steve, for your service, your time, your passion, everything that you've given to the place you call home and we call home. and we know how much you care about where you live and where we live. And I want to thank, on behalf of the County Board of Supervisors, and as one of your residents, I want to thank you for your service.
Thank you so much, Supervisor Wasserman. This is unexpected, but thank you. Very honored this evening. We will go to our next part of the ceremony, which is our swearing in of the new mayor and the new vice mayor. And we'll hand over the microphone.
I guess we're supposed to go down there.
That one together. Okay, please repeat after me. I state your name. Or raise your right hand.
State my name. I state my name.
It is. It is. I state your name.
I, Barbara Spector,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
discharge the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is that. There are some snacks outside. Thank you all so much for coming. We appreciate everything you do for the town and your presence here tonight. Thank you very much. This meeting is adjourned.